What if the best way to learn English wasn't grammar books or long vocabulary lists? What if it was something fun? Something emotional? Something that made you feel, imagine, and remember? What if the smartest way to learn English was through stories? Think about it. When you were a child, you didn't learn words by studying rules. You learned by listening, by watching, by hearing stories. Stories help your brain learn faster. They help you understand real English. They teach you vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, all at the same time. And the best part? They don't feel like studying. In this video, you'll learn exactly how to use stories to improve your English. How to listen, how to repeat, how to grow your vocabulary, and how to speak with confidence. You'll also hear the story of Mariana, who learned English almost completely through stories, and how you can do the same. So sit back, relax, and let's begin your English journey the smart way, through stories. Let's be honest. Many people start learning English with grammar books. They study verbs, rules, tenses. And they get tired. Fast. Why? Because rules are cold. They have no feeling. And when we don't feel something, we don't remember it. But stories are different. Stories are full of emotion. They have people, problems, and surprises. They make you feel happy, sad, curious, or excited. And when you feel something, your brain remembers better. Think of your favorite movie. Can you remember what the characters said? Probably yes. Now think of a grammar rule you studied last year. Can you remember it? Maybe not. That's the power of stories. When you listen to a story in English, your brain connects the words with emotions and situations. You learn naturally, like a child. You don't just study the language. You experience it. And this experience is what makes stories one of the smartest ways to learn English. Have you ever learned a new word, and then forgot it the next day? That happens a lot when we study long vocabulary lists. Why? Because there's no context. No emotion. No story. But when you learn a word inside a story, everything changes. Imagine hearing this in a story. She was so tired, she fell asleep on the train. Now the word tired is not just a word on a list. You can see it. You can feel it. You remember the train, the girl, her closed eyes. That's how your brain works. It remembers pictures, feelings, and meaning, not just spelling. Stories give you real English in real situations. You hear verbs, adjectives, and expressions used in a natural way. You don't need to translate. You don't need to memorize. Your brain will understand the meaning because of the story. And when you hear that word again, you'll recognize it. You'll think, "Oh, I know that. I heard it in the story about the girl on the train." That's natural learning. That's smart learning. That's the power of stories. When you listen to stories in English, something amazing happens. Your ears get stronger. You start to hear the music of the language, the rhythm, the tone, the pauses. And little by little, your brain begins to understand faster, without needing to translate. At first, it may feel difficult. You might not catch every word. That's okay. Don't try to understand everything. Just follow the story. Enjoy it. Let your ears relax and listen. And here's the smart trick: repeat the same story many times. The first time, you understand a little. The second time, you understand more. By the third or fourth time, your brain already knows the story, and your ears focus on the sounds and details. This is called repetition with meaning. You're not just hearing English. You're training your brain to think in English. Short stories, even just 3 to 5 minutes long, are perfect for this. You can listen while walking, cooking, or relaxing. And every time you hear the same story again, you'll notice something new. This habit makes listening easier, and speaking more natural, because your ears are already used to the language. And it all starts with just one story. Played again and again. Many learners ask, should I use subtitles? The answer is yes, but use them the smart way. Subtitles can help you understand more, connect sounds to words, and learn faster. But if you always read and never listen, you won't train your ears. So here's the best way to use subtitles with stories. Step 1. Watch the story with English subtitles. This helps you connect the sound with the spelling. Don't pause too much. Just follow the flow. Step 2. Watch the same story again, but without subtitles. Now, you focus on listening. You already know the story, so your brain can fill in the meaning. Step 3. Watch one more time, and repeat key phrases out loud. Pick 2 or 3 phrases that you like and say them with the same voice, the same speed, the same feeling. Example from a story. I don't know what to do. She looked at him and smiled. It was the best day of my life. Repeat them. Feel them. Use them. This combination, reading, listening, and speaking, helps your brain learn English faster. Subtitles are not a problem. They are a tool. Use them wisely, and they will help you grow. When you listen to stories in English, something amazing happens. Your ears get stronger. You start to hear the music of the language, the rhythm, the tone, the pauses. And little by little, your brain begins to understand faster, without needing to translate. At first, it may feel difficult. You might not catch every word. That's okay. Don't try to understand everything. Just follow the story. Enjoy it. Let your ears relax and listen. And here's the smart trick: repeat the same story many times. The first time, you understand a little. The second time, you understand more. By the third or fourth time, your brain already knows the story, and your ears focus on the sounds and details. This is called repetition with meaning. You're not just hearing English. You're training your brain to think in English. Short stories, even just 3 to 5 minutes long, are perfect for this. You can listen while walking, cooking, or relaxing. And every time you hear the same story again, you'll notice something new. This habit makes listening easier, and speaking more natural, because your ears are already used to the language. And it all starts with just one story. Played again and again. Most learners just watch stories. They listen. They understand. And then, they stop. But if you want to learn faster, you need to do something extra. Speak. This is called active listening. You don't only listen. You participate. You repeat. You copy. You become part of the story. Here's how it works. While watching or listening to a story in English, choose a short sentence. Pause the audio. Then say the sentence out loud, just like the speaker. Try to match their voice, their speed, their emotion. For example, if the sentence is, "I can't believe it." Don't just say it like a robot. Say it like the story. "I can't believe it." Put feeling in your voice. This is shadowing, one of the best ways to train your speaking skills. You don't need to repeat the whole story. Just a few lines is enough. Why is this so powerful? Because you're training your brain, your ears, and your mouth, all at the same time. You hear the rhythm. You copy the pronunciation. You build speaking confidence. So next time you watch a story, don't just sit and listen. Pause. Speak. Feel the words. You're not just learning English. You're living it. Mariana always wanted to speak English. She tried grammar books, vocabulary apps, and even online courses. She studied hard. She memorized rules. But still, when she tried to speak, her mind went blank. She felt frustrated. She said, "I know the rules, but I can't talk." Then one day, a friend told her, "Stop studying. Start listening to stories." At first, Mariana laughed. Stories? Like fairy tales? But she gave it a try. She found short English stories on YouTube with subtitles. She listened to one every morning. The first week, she didn't understand much. But she kept going. She listened again. And again. Soon, she could follow the story. She started repeating the lines. She even laughed at the jokes. After 1 month, she was thinking in English. Not perfectly, but naturally. She wasn't afraid to speak anymore. She didn't translate in her head. She didn't pause to remember grammar rules. She just spoke. And all of that started with simple stories, just 10 minutes a day. Now Mariana says, stories gave me the English I needed, without the stress. And you can do the same. You don't need to study harder. You need to connect with English in a way that feels human. Stories do that. They teach you through feeling. They unlock your confidence, just like they did for Mariana. Now you may be thinking, what kind of stories should I listen to? That's a great question. The best stories for learning English are short, 3 to 10 minutes is perfect. Long stories can be too much in the beginning. Simple, use basic vocabulary and clear pronunciation. No need for complicated language. Emotional, stories with feelings are easier to remember. If you feel something, your brain learns faster. Real or relatable, everyday situations help you learn useful words for real life. Here are some good examples. A short story about someone losing their keys. A story about a funny trip or an embarrassing moment. A story about dreams, family, friendship, or goals. Biographies or true stories, like the ones you've watched on this channel. You can find great stories on YouTube, Spotify, or even in English learning apps. Some videos have slow narration and subtitles, which is perfect for beginners. You can also look for graded readers, stories written for English learners at your level. Audiobooks, choose beginner-friendly books with audio. Story podcasts, short, clear stories you can listen to on the go. The key is to choose stories that you enjoy. Because when you enjoy something, you'll keep doing it. And the more stories you hear, the more English becomes part of your world. Now that you know the power of stories, it's time to build your own routine. You don't need hours of study. You just need a plan that fits your life. Something simple. Something consistent. Here's a smart and easy routine you can follow every day. 1. Listen, 5 to 10 minutes. Choose a short story with clear English. Listen to it once with subtitles. Then again without subtitles. 2. Repeat, 2 to 5 minutes. Pick 2 or 3 sentences you like. Pause the video and repeat them out loud. Copy the speaker's voice and feeling. 3. Think, 2 minutes. After the story ends, close your eyes and ask, what happened in the story? Who was the main character? What was the problem? Try to answer in English, even with simple words. 4. Write, optional. Write 2 to 3 sentences about what you liked in the story. This helps you remember vocabulary and practice grammar. 5. Smile. You did it. You just learned English naturally, like a child learns, through emotion, sound, and repetition. This routine takes just 15 minutes. You can do it in the morning, during lunch, or before bed. If you do this every day, your listening will improve. Your vocabulary will grow. And one day soon, you'll start speaking without fear. Because you didn't just study English. You lived it, one story at a time. At first, you only listen. You enjoy the stories. You repeat some sentences. You understand more and more. But then, something changes. One day, you hear a sentence in a story and your brain says, "I know that." And then, you use it in real life. That's the moment you become more than a listener. You become a speaker. Stories give you real English that you can use right away. They teach you the way people actually talk. I'm not sure. Let's go. What happened? These phrases are not from textbooks. They're from life. And stories are full of them. Here's something powerful you can do. After listening to a story, retell it. Use your own words. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just try. You can say, "It's a story about a boy who lost his phone. She was sad because she missed the bus. In the end, they laughed and became friends." This practice helps your brain move from input to output, from passive to active, from learner to speaker. The more you listen, the more you understand. The more you understand, the more you speak. And it all starts with one story. Then another. And another. Until English is no longer something you study, it's something you speak. Now you know the truth. You don't need big grammar books. You don't need to memorize long vocabulary lists. You just need stories. Because stories make English real. They make learning fun. They connect emotion, sound, and meaning all in one place. With stories, you can improve your listening. Grow your vocabulary. Learn pronunciation. And most of all, start speaking. Remember the steps. Choose short, simple stories. Listen with and without subtitles. Repeat your favorite phrases. Think and talk about what you heard. Do it every day, even for just 15 minutes. This is how Mariana did it. This is how thousands of learners grow. And this is how you can do it too. So now it's your turn. Like this video if you learned something helpful. Comment below and tell us. Backhand index pointing right. What's your favorite story to learn English? And don't forget to subscribe for more videos that help you learn English in a fun, natural way, one story at a time. Because you're not just learning words. You're learning to express yourself. To feel confident. To connect with the world. Do you want to improve your English 20x faster? Whether it's grammar, conversation, or fluency, we have the perfect material for you. Click the link in the description or the first pinned comment and take your English to the next level.